Hello and welcome along to a massive episode of this FM20 Dorking Wanderers story with me, Daniel. It's season 11, episode 6. I've called it the defining moments, and I wasn't joking, I can assure you. You can see where we start today. Chelsea in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Our second successive appearance, which is remarkable. I mean, we've got very lucky with a draw this year, all championship teams at home. But aside from that, we've been absolutely brilliant. We had a quarter-final in the Carabao Cup against Arsenal just a couple of episodes ago. And today it's Chelsea. But that's not all. We also have a top-of-the-table championship clash. We're still in promotion contention. And I'm going to take you over to the table. So if you have missed any of the season so far and you want to know how we've got to where we are, please do click back in the eye above to catch up. I have a link to the first episode of the season and you can follow the journey all the way through. But let's go back to this home screen so you can see what the second game is. We are top of the championship with 7 games to go, 6 points clear of Watford. We face them next away at Vicarage Road. If Watford win, it's down to 3 with 6 games to go. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I couldn't care less. We're 13 points clear of Crystal Palace, who incidentally we face in 4 games' time. That'll be the next episode if it's important, but we'll come back to that in a moment. We are facing Chelsea and Watford today, an FA Cup quarter-final against a Big Six team as a championship side in Dorking, and first v second in the championship, fighting it out for promotion and the title. It does not get bigger than this. This is the moment we've been waiting for. If you are looking forward to it, it's going to be an absolutely chaotic one. Please do put a thumbs up on the video. I really do appreciate your support with the series. And after 11 or 12 years, which have included some ups, downs, some struggles, some mediocrity in League One for a few years, and last season even in the Championship, we look like we're going to reach the big time, and it has come from absolutely nowhere. I mean, we were planning to be quite secure this season, not really try and do too much. And we've just continued to pick up momentum, we've continued to pick up results, and it's just spiralled and spiralled to the extent where now I don't know that these lads know how to lose. Yes, the odd game goes wrong, but I mean generally, we come back from behind so often, we nick points that we don't deserve to, and this team is doing me very, very proud. So we'll look at the recent results in a minute and get into the 2 big games. But firstly, a massive thank you to everyone who's supporting the series so far. I really do appreciate it. As I mentioned, you can catch up with this season in the eye above, as well as all of our other stories, including the head coach, which has just started a new season. A big season for me in that one as well. And there's also the 2 new Sunday series, which I do appreciate your continued support with. The FM20 Network Career Myself Against a Co-Host, and my Football Stadium Review series. Just a bit of a therapeutic void filler for me, not being able to go to football, so I'm talking about the experiences I've had with a friend as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy that, but today's all about this one. I mean, if you're looking forward to it, please put a thumbs up on it. It's going to be an absolute belter. We have got some problems. Mitchell Baker's on loan from Chelsea, our best centre-half, so we're going to be without him today. And then against Watford, we've got other problems. There's an international break in between, and we're back for the Watford game sort of towards the end of it, so there might be some fitness issues. And we've only had a game 4 days ago in the league, so that could be troublesome as well. But let's go and have a look at the schedule to see what's happened since you were last with me. We haven't lost a game. We have had a few draws. We've also had some absolutely belting performances. So following that Reading game last time out, we drew 1-1 at Leeds, and another game that just epitomised our season. Down early in the 4th minute, a really poor performance, didn't really look like scoring, and then in the 92nd minute, Alan Tordoff pops up with a screamer from the edge of the box. He has been a hero so often this year, won't sign a new deal, which is a concern. But I mean, what a man, what a performance, and they just don't know when they're beating these lads. It happens every single time. Absolutely sensational. We then went on a run of blistering wins. 5-1 at home to Millwall. It was 5-0. I'm a bit annoyed that we lost the clean sheet, to be honest. Porteous with a brace. McLaughlin, Cotleo and Moles with a goal apiece. 4-1 away at West Ham, who were challenging for 3rd at the time. James Cotleo with a brace and Aaron White flying out the traps. In 31 minutes we were 4-0 up. A late consolation meant nothing, and that Gelhardt who scored that goal earning more than all of our 11 was put together at the time. Not the case now because we've got some new deals, but we'll talk about that in a moment. We then won 4-0 against basement side Cardiff City, Porteous and Council with a brace apiece. You can see we're still spreading the goals out all over the shop. And then a 2-0 win against struggling Portsmouth, White and Cotleo with a goal early and late in the game as we finally wrapped it up against 10 men. Tordoff put a penalty miles wide of the post. No idea why he was taking it. But hey, we won 2-0, let's not worry about it. 3-1 away at Stoke City. McLaughlin, Cotleo and Thomas with the goals. And again, look at the spirit here. We were pegged back just before the hour mark. Stephen Finn with a goal. Obviously changed from playing his cricket for Middlesex. And then Cotleo and Thomas after the hour mark, just putting us back in front. I mean, they never know when to quit. We then won 4-1 with our backup side against Sunderland in the FA Cup. And this was the start of new heroics. And it continued for 2 games. It was Brendan Lindsay. Back from injury, he'd settled back in, got back to fitness, and he scored a brace, as did Joe Thompson on his way back. And then against Sheffield Wednesday, I went bold. I said Brendan Lindsay scored 2 goals. Cotleo struggled the last game. Lindsay will start. And he turned up with a hat-trick. An early penalty and 2 more. Former Southampton youngster Josh Sims got the goal for Sheffield Wednesday. And Aaron White got one for us as well. But then we had the heartbreak again. At this point I thought, maybe I do need to keep Lindsay. We talked about him going with King being signed and Cotleo flying. But then Brendan Lindsay got injured again. Out for another 6 weeks, and that will include today and the Watford game. So no more Brendan Lindsay. I mean, he's had so many now, it's starting to affect his physicality. So we're going to have to let that go. But either way, if we get promoted, he'll be remembered as a hero for that. And he'll be remembered as a hero for getting us to this Chelsea tie. In the last 2 games, probably a bit more toothless in front of goal. But Fraser Cotleo again nicking us a point against Sunderland. We dominated this match, we just couldn't score a goal. But Cotleo never knows when we're beaten, and he nicked the equaliser for us. At home to Swansea, again, pegged back on a stroke of half-time. This time it's Zach Council to the rescue. 2 goals for him, a brilliant brace. And we go into this one in pretty fine form. No defeat in 2 months. Lots of draws, but to be honest, we've scored a lot of goals in some games. And although we probably won't do so against Chelsea today, this is about limiting the damage to morale. I've been working so hard with individual chats, team meetings at the right times, trying to keep the morale as perfect as possible. And you can see the effects it's had this year. So we're going to fly into this Chelsea game now, everything looking rosy. And let's see if we can cause the ultimate FA Cup shock. 1 game away from Wembley, hopefully lots of gate receipts at Stamford Bridge either way. And this is going to be a massive one. 57,000 now host at Chelsea's ground. And the heavy odds on favourites, and we're missing our best defender. But let's go and pick the lineup, and we'll be back in a moment to reflect on it. So here we go. We will change to a balanced mentality when we get into it, because we all remember what happened at the start of the Arsenal game. But we've got some good news in here. I mean, there's some dodgy bits as well. Aaron White's tired. He can't play. I've switched the keepers, as I always do for the Cup. And there's a couple of others on the edge. But we have got a week and a half off. And I'm trying to bear in mind who's not going on international duty. So McLaughlin will need to rest at some point. Otherwise, Jack Walker probably the only other one. So they're the 2 we've got to look out for. There are players improving massively off the pitch. The likes of Stropper, who's continuing to develop, really improving attribute-wise. And because we're doing a double header today, I probably haven't got time to look at them in detail. So we'll do that next time out when we come back for the Palace game probably. If not, a promotion party, whatever it may be. And we'll talk about some of the biggest improvers in this squad. But for now, the 11 today is Bull in goal. James and Thomas the fullbacks with Parsons and Walker at centre-half. Parsons obviously in for the ineligible Baker. We've got Porteous and Tordoff in central midfield. Council and Joe Thompson in on the wings. And then McLaughlin back behind Cotleo up front. Another man who's coming on leaps and bounds. Now worth 5 million. New contract for him. New contract for Porteous. We've got a few on board for multiple years as well. Shane Thompson, a left back too, another one. So plenty of players that are going to be here long term. But let's see if they can cause a shock in the here and now. 4-3-3 for Chelsea. I mean, look at some of these names. I get we're 11 years in, but they're playing Kylian Mbappe on the left wing. Only 31 on 425 grand a week. I mean, that's insane. How are we supposed to get a result against them? I mean, most of the rest of the team's regens, which suggests they've got a brilliant young team. Maybe they're resting a few, but that's ridiculous with Mbappe. So let's just go and talk to the lads. We'll ask them to prove a point. I mean, we're asking for a lot today. We'll drop to a balanced mentality and let's try and make this damage limitation, because I can't imagine it'll end well, but it could be another million in a transfer kitty for next summer, particularly if we go up. Maybe one player we don't have to sell, so let's focus on those things. Another standard a stadium paid is Chelsea with an early corner, headed away by Walker. Falls for Kelly. Looks like they're on front foot early on. Alonso getting out wide again. Delivers to the back post. Mbappe brings down and he's forced backwards, which is great. Miguel to Bruce. On the left wing, finding Miguel. Bruce number 7, so I presume he's a first teamer too, as Kelly gets it wide to him again. Into the box, beats one, back to the edge to Kelly. It's all Chelsea in the first few minutes. Parsons heads up more than away. Williams out to Marcos. Chance to deliver again. He's at the byline. Don't foul him. Back to Williams. Deflects away via James. And we survive the first chance of the match. But it looks like it's going to be a long 90 minutes here. Long ball forward. Only finds the centre half for Chelsea. We don't look like we can find a Dorking shirt at the minute, as Mbappe skins the whole team on the left. Goes back to Marcos early on. I mean, it's the same players. Chelsea just playing it round here. Champion to Marcos again. 20 yards out. Runs through. Bursts through the team. Hits the bar and it bounces back out to Ball, who somehow, according to the animation, catches it when looking in front. So he's looking in front like this, and the ball comes from behind and just lands in his hands. Never seen anything like it. But in by Marcos, and Mbappe scores. And the man on the big money has put them ahead. Although, hang on. Appealing for offside. Oh, we've got VAR, haven't we? It didn't look off. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, apparently it is offside. 0-0 with 20 minutes gone. And I'm pretty pleased that we're hanging on at the moment. Well, we've reached the half-hour mark. And to be honest, I'm really proud of what the lads are doing. I say, as Williams is about to go through here. Finds Mbappe. What a tackle by James. Tordov hacks it clear. But I mean, we're playing like it's the 89th minute and we're 1-0 up here. Here's Moreno. He's got him behind the fullback. Chance to deliver. Back to Kelly. Kelly into Bruce. Kelly again. Bruce is another player. He's played 50 games for England. Luke Thomas challenges him though. Into Williams. That's just wide. Oh, how are we surviving? How on earth is it 0-0? I mean, no replays at this stage now. We're going to go defensive for the fullbacks. I just want to try and shore things up. But we've got our first chance. Toured off with a set piece. Parsons loses out in the air. I mean, if we could have nicked one there, that would have been incredible. But it's away via Williams, and it might be Chelsea scoring from our set piece. Thomas flies in, gets nowhere near it. Williams runs the length. It's saved, but it falls straight for Mbappe. And the Frenchman, a world-class player, gives them the lead. And to be honest, we've done well to hold off this long. 35 minutes gone. Chelsea 1, Dorking Wanderers 0. And Mark Ball made a very good save there, but unfortunately it just wasn't to be. The problem is, will the floodgates now open? It's Marcos on the right wing to Moreno. Chance to cross, but he cuts it back again. McLaughlin nicks it on the counter, but look how slow it is. Cotleo chases though, and he's in here. Cotleo's got one closing him down. Can he beat him? He's to the byline. Into Porteous. Away to Council. Oh, just over the bar. Zach Council nearly got us out of our seat there. And we're on the front foot again. What a finish to the half this is. Luke Thomas into Tordov. Finds Joe Thompson, the backup left winger, of course in due to Aaron White's fatigue. Finds Tordov and McLaughlin again. Tordov long, that's poor. Only away to Porteous though. Another man with a new deal who finds James the right back. Down the line he's got Council, but he's been mugged. Oh, he's taken so long. You shouldn't do that with Mbappe there. He's got Parsons closing him. That is brilliant. No. You've not given a foul for that. They're now talking about whether it's in the box. I mean, it was clear to see it was outside. He does not deserve a yellow for that. I thought that was a great tackle. But as it is, Chelsea have a free kick right on the corner. Marcos delivers into Williams, and that's 2. And I tell you what, VAR might work for the big things, but it has given a free kick there. It couldn't overturn the actual foul, and as a result, it is 2-0 at half-time. A little bit harsh on the effort we've put in. Chelsea only had 4 shots on target, but we are behind, and that's probably tie over. But the lads have put in a really good effort. So we're going to ask the lads to keep it up. We want to praise them, keep the morale on side. Don't forget that Watford game's the biggest one today. But this could be a good money spinner, but we don't want to get battered 5 or 6. I guess the best thing we could say is we've had 20 minutes without a highlight. The ball's into the box. I'm not sure why we've seen that part of the highlight. What it does suggest is that Chelsea are going to go on a counter here. What a kick that is to the right wing. I wish we had a keeper who could do that. It's Jarrett. He's coming to the box. Oh, it's a silly foul. Oh, Walker, you didn't need to do it. Why are we at VAR now? It was clearly a penalty. It's going to be, I presume, Mbappe to step up, is it? I can't imagine anyone else taking it. It is. It's Marcos Antonio into the corner. 3-0 Chelsea. Let's go and make those substitutions. Joe Thompson's just coming back from injury, so we'll try and look after him. King can have a game in the FA Cup. Cotleo will play on the left. We'll leave him on an attack duty. I mean, I want to rest McLaughlin because he's going to go on the international. So George Burns on for him. And then Tordov's probably the most tired of the lads. And he's on a yellow. So I think, we've got to worry about Walker as well. Tordov's definitely not going anywhere. So let's bring on Kyle Brown. You get to see some of the January signings in action. And we've just got to try and keep this respectable now. Chelsea 3, Dorking 0. And to be honest, they've been very good value for it. We've made it all the way to stoppage time, so the good news is there's not time for a fifth. There might be a fourth, but that'll be the last chance. It's Bruce over on the left to switch sides since Mbappe's gone off by the looks of it, and tries to get to the byline. Beats one man, beats a second easily, into Williams, good block. Back to Dominguez the sub, his shot, I don't know what happened with it, but the ball falls again for Bull in goal. Where on earth that highlight went, I'm not quite sure. But to be honest, these lads have put up a decent display. It's probably going to be the same result as it was against Arsenal. King fits a foul. I mean, this referee seems to have been a bit harsh on us here. It is 3-0. It's very comfortable for Chelsea. We've got just 30 seconds left. Christensen, a player still there coming off the bench, and he's put it straight out for a Dorking throw-in. But a decent effort, a decent performance. I'm sure it will help the financial coffers, and it will help with that new stadium we're planning. But aside from that, it's the end of another cup run. But reaching quarterfinals at championship level is a really good sign. To do it twice in 2 years in this cup and twice in both competitions this season really is important. The lads are pleased, the morale's still high, and we've just got to make sure we don't get any injuries before Watford. So Chelsea coast past us, we're out of the quarter-final stage. The finances sort of helped by it a little bit, but not really as much as we'd hoped. But the biggest game of the episode is still to come. It's first v second in the championship, possibly a title decider between Watford and Dorking, and we'll be back in a moment for that game. Just a very quick stop off, we've got our youth intake come through. 2.5 star potential is probably the best we've ever had, particularly at this level, so maybe not as bad as it was initially expected to be. The personality's not good and the attributes aren't great, but we might have the best free kick taker in the world in a couple of years, so a bit of a weird one for a target man. Can't really head the ball, hasn't got much strength, but otherwise, it's still a sign of improvement. So that's plenty moving forward. We've got loads that are 2-star potential as well. Normally they're all this half a star with 1.5 potential. So I'm really pleased that we are making a bit of progress and the upgrades are starting to show already. We've mentioned about Richie Sutton, a couple of you suggesting I should move him on. But I mean, his attributes are very good. His personality's good as well. His reputation's even improving. So I'm not quite sure that he's ready to be replaced yet. I understand it will happen eventually, and he is out of contract this year because I haven't quite decided. But for me, have a look and see what you think, because I'm not quite sure he's ready to be replaced yet. Here we go then. It's first v second in a championship. It's Watford v Dorking Wanderers, and this could be the day we wrap up the title. If we go 9 clear with 6 to go, I'm telling you now, I think we'll win it. But a defeat today, and it could all spiral very quickly. So let's go and have a look at the recent bits of news. We won Manager of the Month yet again, but more importantly, we've also got a new appearance record at the club. The news came through about a week late for some reason, but Stefan Moles now reached 309, overtaking the previous record from Matthew Smith, who left the club in January, of course, and nearly 50 goals as well. I mean, what a player he's been, and he's still been important in this campaign too. He probably will go in the summer if we get promoted, or be a very peripheral member of the squad. But either way, what a player he's been, and he is an absolute superstar I'm sure we'll remember. But let's go and get into this Watford game. The home side underdogs apparently. They've got 2 players out injured, 2 suspended. We're missing Brendan Lindsay, and although we haven't picked the team yet, let's just go and have a look and see what the fitness is like. McLaughlin has made it. I rested him after the international break and it seems to have worked. And I think aside from Lindsay, we've got everyone fit. So I'm going to go and pick the lineup off camera and we'll be back in a moment to run through the 11. Not too many changes. I've tried to keep as strong as possible. And another bit of news, I guess, Kyle Brown, the young Scottish international we signed, the centre-half, made his full international debut rather than the under-21s. So another one that's improving. His personality off the pitch. It's remarkable, the improvements. The mentoring groups are sensational. I'm just going to go and praise Aaron White because I need to get his morale up. It's something I've been trying to manage all year. But this is a very tough test for us. So do you know what? Let's go and get into it. The lineup, Stropper in goal back after the cup tie. James and Thomas the fullbacks with Walker alongside Baker who's back in at centre half. Porteous and Tordoff continue in midfield. Council and White back in on the wings with McLaughlin carrying on behind Cotleo up front. We need some heroics from someone. Who's going to be the man today and can we keep the unbeaten run going in the league? 4-4-2 interestingly for Watford. I remember that Lewis Southgate in the middle. He's caused me troubles at least once in this series. Kane Lomas in goal, another name that I remember from somewhere. But I'm not worried about all of that today. Loads of regens, loads of good young players. You know that. That's why they're up at the top of the league. Can we get ahead in a title race? I mean, a draw would be an incredible result. I'll snatch your hand off for it now. But these lads, they don't often know when they're beaten. And let's hope that remains the case today. We've got a tunnel interview because, of course, they're starting to focus on us. Will we get the jitters? Will we fall away? Will we produce an epic collapse? But into the first half against Watford, and we're about to find out the answer. Well, I'm going to be honest, that first 40 minutes is exactly what I wanted. No highlights, peter out. I will take the most dull 0-0 draw in the world today. But we have got a highlight now as we switch it to the right. James, the fullback, in behind. Crosses to Cotleo. Oh! Deflects off Perisic, the centre half. He made a brilliant block and is behind for a corner kick, which White takes. Headed away at the front post, only finds Baker. Back out to White again. Can he get the delivery right? Cotleo heads straight into the arms of Lomas. Didn't really look threatening at any stage. And it remains 0-0 with 2 to the break. We'll take a boring game from here. We'll take a 0-0 draw. And 6 points clear with 6 to go would be a dream come true. It'll also edge us a point ahead of Crystal Palace again. And that's the big one really. Can we stay as far clear as possible and wrap up promotion early? I never expected to be in this position. And the fact we're here is absolutely incredible. So we've got to do everything we can to hold on to it. The Championship, supposedly the hardest league in the world. Although I'd argue it's League One based on the last 2 years. But here's Porteous in the middle to James. On the right hand side finds Tordoff. He's been booked, so we've got to be careful with him, but he's keeping his playmaker duties. Finds Porteous. James again in behind on the right. Cotleo's there. Oh, what a header. Into the top corner. Lewis James with a brilliant delivery. The second or third time he's done that today. And Cotleo, I mean, what can we say about this man? He came in as an emergency backup striker at the end of the transfer window. He's now become our key player, our best striker with 21 Championship goals. Our top earner, because he's already a big player and he's worth over 5 million quid. I mean, he's an Ireland under 21 international now. He's doing everything right. I just can't say anything more positive about the lad. He's been absolutely brilliant and he may well have wrapped up the title here. We've got another free kick with Council. Rush heads away to Corbett and now Watford can counter here. Why are we so light at the back? Unavar on the left-hand side. Apologies for the pronunciation and Tordoff's going to get sent off. Oh, you didn't have to do that. There were 3 back. And the star man has let us down right at the end. An hour gone and we're going to have to finish this with 10. Peter McLaughlin's going to be the man to come off. Definitely. Moles, the experienced player, will add to his appearance record and he'll have a bigger responsibility than ever. So Porteous will go on to a support duty. The fullbacks will go on to a defend duty. We'll drop to balanced. We're going to time waste all the time. It's going to be the setup for the last 5 minutes, but doing it for the last half hour. What else can we really do? Slow the pace down. We're not going to press the goalkeeper. There's no need for us to do that. I don't want to drop too deep, too defensive, because we'll just invite pressure, and Watford are a good side. But with 10 men and half an hour to go, can we hang on to this fragile 1-0 lead? We've gone through 10 minutes of it already, so things looking good. And Aaron White's now knackered on the left wing. He's going to be replaced. Joe Thompson comes on. One more change made. He'll drop to a support duty. Just slightly more defensive tweaks as we go along. There's 15 more. Can we hang on? Oh, there's an injury now. Oh, we need to hang on now because without Cotleo, this end to the season's going to be tough. I'm actually contemplating, do I bring on James King or do I bring on another midfielder? Do I go strikerless for the last 10? So the 2 options are Council and Joe Thompson back like that, flat midfield 4, or 2 attacking wingers and an anchorman. Oh, I wish I could have a live comment section at this stage because I have no idea which one to go for. Do you know what? I'm going to go with the English youth coaching. 2 flat banks of 4, 1 man up front chasing shadows. I mean, what do we even want him as? He's not a hard worker. He's not the man you'd want up here in a time like this. But he's the only choice we've got. So James King comes on and there's 10 more minutes to hang on here at Watford. What a result this would be if we could see it out with 10. We're into 6 minutes of added time. Now we drop to cautious. Now we regroup if we lose the ball. Now we hold the shape when we win possession. There is no attacking intent at all. We drop the line of engagement. We make the pitch as small as possible. Play for set pieces, time waste, everything we can possibly do. And there's 4 more minutes of stoppage time and we're back for another highlight. Stefan Moles, back to Luke Thomas. Don't give it away here. Don't you dare. Walker goes long. It's given away. Southgate in the middle for Watford. Long ball over. Rush in 1-on-1. Oh, Stropper, no. Not now. Stropper makes a mistake. It's gone through his right hand. But I can't change shape. 1-1 still a brilliant result. And hanging on for it is crucial. Can we do it? We can. It's 1-1 at Vicarage Road. It's heartbreak. I mean, we hang on with 10 men for half an hour and then give it away in stoppage time. The keeper probably could have done better, but how few mistakes he's made this year, I can't get involved with that. Fraser Cotlio with our goal, and we were so close to hanging on there. But let's not get bogged down. We said at the start we'd snatch your hand off for a draw. We can't get upset because of the circumstances. The lads are pleased. We're still 6 points clear of Watford, and we're 14 clear of Palace, who have 7 games to go. So if they win their game in hand, let's assume they will. That's 11 points with 6 left. Surely we've got to go up. That Crystal Palace game in a few games' time could be crucial. So I think that's probably when we're going to be back. We'll deal with all the press conference stuff off camera. Fraser Cotlio's injury, 3 to 4 weeks. So no Cotlio, no Brendan Lindsay. And I think James King will have to make himself a hero. But as we mentioned, we've got Palace in 3 or 4 games. And it could well be the game that secures us promotion. So if you'd like to see that, please do subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications on for alerts as all the new episodes release on the channel. Please do put a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed that drama at the end of the Watford game. I mean, what an episode, a defining moment. And it's left us on a little bit of a cliffhanger. If we'd won it, we would have been pretty assured of promotion. But that Palace game is now going to be crucial. So I hope to see you in 2 days' time for that. A big end to the week in this series. In the meantime, let me know in the comments what you think will happen. How on earth we're going to cope with no fit strikers and only one man who's not yet scored for the club. Please do check out the other content on the channel. I really do appreciate your support with it. There's a link to all 3 of the other active playlists as well. The latest season of The Head Coach, which has just started in the last week or so. The live stream from that series, the Summer Transfer Special 2. And then the 2 Sunday series, the FM20 Network Career and the Stadium Review series. But I'm a little bit deflated and I don't know why at the end of that. Because it's a brilliant result. We did so well to hang on and get a point. But I just felt like it was so close to being special. Either way, it wasn't quite what we wanted it to be. But it was still satisfactory. And we'll be back to hopefully complete the job next time. And I hope I'll see you then again.